Forward. But this is also what we were talking about the other day in terms of, when you have this type of profit motive with hospitals, they are not going to have. It's like the airlines. They're not going to sit around and carry a couple of empty beds just because maybe there might be a time where we need one, like for a pandemic. This is too costly. They have to squeeze every single dollar of profit out of their enterprise. Why? Because that's what makes their shares go up. Why is that important? Because that's how a lot of these CEOs and board of directors, all of them, get paid. They're running a cottage industry. I don't know. Who is the cow guy? Who is this guy? The cow guy. He is, I guess it's a business, right? The cow guy?
Scott Shalady. I believe he owns an investment firm.
Well, how did he get the nickname the cow guy?
This morning is the first time I've heard of the cow guy.
All right. So I guess my past experience of having to watch this crap for work for, 12 hours a day gave me sort of, contact exposure to this guy at some point. But, yeah. This is, I'll pull him up.
Here's the cow guy. And he's on with Stuart Varney. And this, there you go. That's why he's the cow guy. This is like what certain investors do. Like they brand themselves. To be honest, like that is why when I started Air America, I wore a bow tie because I wanted to confuse people so that they would think I was Tucker Carlson. And I wanted people to go like, hey, what's that dude? Why is that guy with the bow tie? He's like completely changed his ideology. And I don't know if it worked or not, but now I got all those dumb pictures of me with a bow tie out there looking really serious online. But here is the cow guy. And he is speculating that this could be the day that Donald Trump becomes president. Let's try it.
Too painful, so open it up fast.
Well, he calls himself a wartime president, right? Fighting this virus. Well, our wartime president has to start making some very uncomfortable wartime decisions. He needs a Churchillian moment here, Stuart, because he's got two things to choose from. He either can open up the economy again or solve for the virus. And I don't think he can
open it up fast.
He either can open up the economy again or solve for the virus. And I don't think he can solve for the virus right now. So it's the pendulum is swinging towards opening up the economy again, or at least some sort of, and that's why the market loves this. But you know what I'd like us all to do is we need to have a little perspective.
Pause it. I just want to make it clear what he's saying at this point. He's saying like, we missed the boat on stopping the virus from killing a lot of people. So let's stop any efforts to mitigate the death and misery that's going to come from the virus. And let's focus on getting the stock market back up. Let's keep our priorities, folks. I mean, basically what they're saying is like, look, we know that wealthy people have had enough time to figure out how they're going to weather this storm. If they haven't, they may have already got it. And if they did, well, then they already got it. But the rest of the wealthy people have figured out how they're going to weather this storm. So let's let the storm rage. And because I don't know anything about pandemics, I can say that it's just going to peter out on its own. Remember when Donald Trump said that? Like, it's like magic. Summer comes and it goes away. And he's saying, let's just get the stock market up. But here.
The pendulum is swinging towards opening up the economy again, or at least some sort of, and that's why the market loves this. But you know what I'd like us all to do is we need to have a little perspective, and we need to see other numbers of other deaths of other diseases on a daily basis, so we don't just have these numbers in thin air. This is ridiculous, just reporting one number, because nobody knows if that's good, is that bad, and I think that would help with the psyche of the country. And just as lawyers look at how things have been handled in the past, right? Why don't we look at how other viruses have been handled in the past? How did we handle H1N1? Give us some idea about how those things were done so we can see how this is being done. Because I'm telling you, I'm talking to the average everyday man. and they're absolutely flummoxed on how we can do this to all.
Pause it for 1 second. You know, when he approaches the everyday man may be flummoxed because he's talking to a guy wearing a cow sport jacket and a cow vest. And he may just be looking at this guy going like, what? That could be part of the flummoxing. When I talk to the everyday man, they don't seem to have a full appreciation for what a pandemic entails. And that means we should completely ignore the science. Continue.
And they're absolutely flummoxed on how we can do this to all these people. 150 million people don't have a voice. They've worked 35 years only to lose a third of their 401k right before they retire. And they didn't get a say in any of it. And it wasn't their fault. How do you prepare early, to amend those losses? There will be death and destruction on that side of the coin that nobody's talking about. So yes, the market loves the idea of opening back up again, because that's the problem. And here we are, sitting here, taking advice on how to stay safe from our local government and our federal government, and they can't even come to an agreement on helping out the guy that lost his job yesterday. That's a joke. So we're taking advice from people that can't come together on some pretty basic things, and look what's happening on a day-to-day basis. We can't let this go on anymore.
What does that mean? How do we can't, listen. Someone has to go up and tell the pandemic enough is enough. We're tired of this. You need to stop it.
Hidden line buster. Yeah.
You need to stop it, young virus. You virus, you haven't been around for more than 3 or 4 months, and you walk around here like you own the entire place. You're in trouble, Mr. or Mrs. We need to do more studies. This is just insanity. We could go back and look at how we handled the Spanish flu. What was it, like 700,000 people died in the States? We could look at that.
We also have different options available for securing people's retirements than forcing the markets open during a pandemic.
Well, I mean, it's not these. It's not the pandemic that's doing this. It's the freaking, it's the people who are selling off on Wall Street. All right, hold on for 1 second. Let's see if I can get